Hey everybody, welcome to the Plain Mundane Show. I'm Alex Aquarius. Today we're going to talk about aliens, fake alien invasion. It's what people are talking about, saying that maybe governments in the world and militaries have discovered technologies that they're not showing to us, and they can in effect pull off an alien invasion so that we all unite together and become interdependent when they might not be aliens at all. So we're going to discuss, I'm going to read from this article, which is from a website called Light Network website. All right. Part 1, Hologram Techniques to Project Pictures in the Atmosphere. This awareness wishes to inform entities that there are methods of creating pictures in the sky, as was experienced in a Russian village, whereby certain machines are used, along with a kind of hologram techniques to project pictures in the atmosphere upon a kind of screen created by vapor and particles placed in the atmosphere at the point images are projected. This awareness indicates that these relating to ionized particles brought on by the machine projecting on the images, or in the other techniques created by aircraft dropping fine particles and chemicals in the atmosphere. Wait, planes don't do that. Kidding. Which serve as reflectors for these projections. One of the reasons of the chemtrails, Hologram techniques projecting lights into a central point through laser-type mechanism from different sources placed apart from each other with the focal point in the heavens. Look at Revelations of Awareness 81 through 16. The alien agenda coming soon. The fake invasion, the fake rapture. This awareness indicates that those who watch television will already have begun to notice the increase of reptilian references on your television, not only in advertisements, which are part of the conditioning process, but also in some of the more educational programs and the sense of discovery programs, that there have been large sums of money given toward the research of reptilians just in the last few months, and that there is a part of a result of the concern by those who understand the nature of the things on your plane in regard to the reptoids and their threat. This awareness indicates that by studying the reptilians, the nature of reptiles in great detail, they hope to find information that helps to deal with this threat. This awareness indicates that it has been suggested in the Azusu advertisement, when reptilians come, will you be ready? Will your car be large enough? Etc., etc. This is done as a kind of joke, but it is also part of the preparation. This awareness indicates the Japanese are far ahead in terms of exposing such information to the public, having played the Cooper tapes and other UFO tapes on Japanese television during the past year quite frequently. Most of the Japanese people are very much informed in regard to this kind of information. It is still being withheld within the United States. This awareness indicates that the situation is that the reptoids are already present on Earth in considerable numbers. There are, of course, the further numbers yet to come, when the timing is right for this action. This awareness indicates that in a time as nearly as 1 decade ago, many of your scientists discovered a planetoid moving in the direction of Earth, toward the solar system, and mention of this was made in several of your publications and newspapers, and there was suddenly silence in regards to this phenomenon. Planet X, Nibiru, the 12th planet. This awareness indicates that essentially that planetoid has already arrived and is parked outside of the orbit of Pluto, and from that planetoid the shuttlecraft that frequently move throughout the solar system to and from Earth using bases on the Moon, Mars, also Titan, the moon of Saturn. This awareness indicates that the reptoids have this area already under their domain in a sense that they direct the behavior and the control over the Greys, and the Greys have considerable influence over the leaders of many of the countries, the nations. Years later, awareness indicated in a reading that part of the reptoid fleet on their way towards our Earth has been destroyed and crash-landed on Jupiter due to Syrian interference. This awareness, there is also, of course, factions within your nation in which there is both support and conflict with the scenario of the aliens. There are many who want to prevent this alien takeover of the planet and are working toward that end, while others are currying favor from the aliens in hopes that by compromising with them and licking their boots, they will be spared any adverse treatment. This awareness indicates that the purpose of this discussion at this present time is to present a rough idea of the alien agenda, for there is a chance that this agenda will not be presented in the future, wherein certain of the government alien control groups will present a different scenario to give a different impression of what is occurring. This awareness wishes that you understand the agenda that is promoted before it becomes illegal to talk about any other agenda than that which becomes the official line, for this could occur in the future. Area 51 to be staging ground for alleged UFO landing. This awareness indicates that the plan of the aliens is thus: during the next few years, more and more attention from the media and other sources will be focused on UFOs, and the publicity will become more and more popularized for the masses. Especially possible is an increased focus on what is called Area 51 in Nevada. For entities to be given more and more information on this small article and various press releases scattered throughout different publications until the area becomes fairly well known, especially among those who have interest in UFOs, because this appears to be a staging ground for the alleged landing of the UFOs, which will be publicly, officially announced. This awareness indicates by putting this in an area that is classed as secret, it can be controlled so that the press can be selectively chosen to give information regarding this landing. This awareness indicates that the plan would also call for this in reference to the aliens' general plan, which may be altered, of course, especially since this is being released. Worldwide attention to be brought to this, along with other sightings and other events pointing to the real existence of UFOs. The hardcore critics and cynics of ufology will then officially recognize the existence, because spokesmen from the media will have officially recognized the presence, and these critics, who class themselves as intellectuals, will now have someone officials on whom they can rely, and will become hardcore believers, and then will be the main supporters of the scenario that is presented, even though it will be part of a facade, a trick, a program to fool the masses. This awareness indicates that it will be part of a fake invasion. This awareness indicates that this is the reason why this awareness has referred to entities to Stan Deyo's book, The Cosmic Conspiracy, because Deyo presents detailed information on the fake invasion. I like to hear Deyo, Stan Deyo. He has much other information that is irrelevant in a personal position, but he does present well the information regarding the fake invasion, which he refers to as the fake rapture. It will give the impression that the aliens are here to protect mankind from a further invasion that is coming by reptoids. This awareness indicates that the fact is these aliens will already be representing and working for the reptoids. Reptoids will remain out of sight. This awareness indicates that the true invasion of these entities are protecting you and will be that of the Syrians, for those from Sirius and those from the Pleiades, and those who are in fact true friends of humanity, they will be preparing you for war against those entities who plan to come up and rescue Earth from the reptoid forces. This awareness indicates that it will thus be a false invasion in that sense, and there will be many who are opposed to the very entities who are trying to preserve humanity's claim to the Earth, in creating a false belief that they are fighting one group, when in fact they were actually working for the reptoids, and believe that the human group for whom they are in fact fighting against are the reptoids. Kissinger's ET card, make peace or die from ET threat. This awareness reminds you of the statement of Henry Kissinger after the Oklahoma bombing when he spoke and said, "It is time to play the ET card." This awareness indicates that the ET card was used in the peace accord at Dayton, Ohio, and is thus a continuation of the ET card. In Dayton, the leaders of the factions of the Bosnia-Croatian Serb War were brought in, taken down an elevator underground, and shown the remains of alien bodies. Warned of the alien threat to humanity, and told that they had to find peace in their area because there was a great threat to humanity by extraterrestrials. This awareness indicates that in this current scenario, it can be seen that the extraterrestrial visitation would be to introduce the Antichrist as the Messiah return. And to some degree, this could be countered by a following scenario of what would be called hostile forces. In the event that the true Pleiadian or Sirian invasion were to follow, if the Sirius or true Pleiadian craft came to rescue humanity after the Orions had already come to the planet, the government could say, "We are now being invaded by hostile extraterrestrials, and we must fight to keep them from taking the world from us. Our Pleiadian friends will help us defend against them." See Project Bluebeam and the Galactic Overview. Whatever the case may be, whatever the scenario may be, the circumstance will be designed to influence the masses to go along with the delivery aspects of giving their nation to the United Nations for its collective guidance of all nations. And those countries that do not cooperate and go along with this action will be gradually ostracized and possibly even punished in the future. The ostracizing of the nations would be to include economic boycotts and a kind of cut-off of any culture and economic relating, so that the nation loses any foreign trades to or from its borders, so that contacts with the nation would be considered outlawed. Eventually, the hope would be that the nations would join with the United Nations of the world and become part of the New World Order. This awareness indicates that in order for these countries to be thus coerced into this action, the leaders would need to be enticed into thinking something for themselves would come of delivering the country to the New World Order, and thus those in leadership within each country would hope to gain something from the New World Order personally and individually and collectively. Meanwhile, those people of each nation would be hoping to see something worthwhile come from their country being delivered to the United Nations and losing its own sovereignty. This awareness indicates that it does appear that once entities begin to get closer to this day of reckoning, more questions will be asked, more skepticism and more suspicion will spread among the people, rumors will fly, and even though the media of each country will promote the New World Order, there will be many people who will object and have grave doubts about this New World Order and its real purpose. The role of the many half-breeds created from stolen eggs. This awareness indicates that you may wonder, how can this be that humans would be so fooled? This awareness indicates that this is the other aspects that need to be looked at in the alien plan. For many years, aliens have been abducting humans, and they've been taking sperm and eggs from some time and have used fetuses for their own purposes, like trying to build up their own race. This is in reference to the Greys, trying to strengthen their own race, which is weakening and dying because of radiation that has depleted their reproductive abilities, wherein they have to rely on cloning in order to continue, and wherein they have to rely on human glandular substances in order to keep immunity and resistance to disease and nutrients for themselves. Therefore, some of the part of the abduction program of the aliens is for their own survival, but other aspects of the abduction program, especially in more recent times, in the past 20 years especially, has been to create a hybrid or half-breed, half human and half reptilian. These being entities who can serve to interface between the aliens and the humans on some levels at a time in the future, these being created from the collection of eggs and from abducted women, whom they use repeatedly, mostly from abductions that take place within the entity's own home. In some cases, however, women are collected and not returned and kept in cages underground where they are used for the laying of eggs or giving of eggs for alien purposes. They often are implanted with sperm from the reptoids for the first trimester, then the child is taken to be raised elsewhere. This awareness indicates that this purpose is to raise an army of half-breeds who will be able to pilot the ships that have been built and are stored in a great underground caverns, it should say, which will be brought out at the time of the invasion and used to fight against those from Sirius, the Pleiades, Arcturus, and others of the Confederation of Humans who have a desire to protect mankind. Okay, I'm going to stop right there for a break, folks, and we're going to come back with part 2 on our fake alien invasion show. Thank you for looking at the Plain Mundane Show. I'm Alex Aquarius. Please hit like and subscribe, and look for part 2. Peace out.